This is Maggi, and I will be trying out your recipes to find my favorite. We're gonna be rating them on the basis of how fun and creative they were to make, the time and effort needed, and of course how good they taste. So let's get started with the first one. Maggi Hot Pot by Janvi. Cook lots of garlic, ginger and green chilies in some oil, and then we'll add in one chopped onion. We just want to cook these till they're fragrant. Then we add in one tomato and just again cook till it's soft. Let this cook for a bit before transferring to a blender along with some water and blend into a paste, and we'll just directly transfer the paste to the same pot along with some oil. To season, there's 2 packets of Maggi masala, a packet of momo chutney, some soy sauce and mix and just let it cook. This thickens a lot and most of the water evaporates, which gives you this very nice dark paste that smells so good. Fill the pot with water and mix it with the paste to get a soup, and now all that's left to do is cook the Maggi in it. I also added my momo at this step because they'll just take the same time as the Maggi, so it doesn't really make any sense to use more utensils. Okay, so it doesn't even matter how good it looks because I am telling you it smelled so good. I was salivating the entire time just waiting for it to be done. Ginger and garlic is just such an amazing combo. Only fresh though, I don't like store-bought ginger garlic paste. And coming back to rating this hot pot, it's definitely a 9 for creativity, 7.5 for ease, and a 10 for taste. Like, it is a 10 for taste because I am not a soup person, but this one, even without the Maggi, I can just have the gravy. I can just have the soup. It is so good. Chaat Maggi by Nandini. Okay, first of all, this is kind of funny, but most of my friends, they call me Shivi because I don't like Shiva or any other short form of my name. So yeah, you calling me Shivi definitely caught me a bit off guard. For this recipe, all we need to do is cook the Maggi itself and then mix the rest of the ingredients. It kind of has a moody vibe, but also a Chinese bhel vibe. So it's kind of like a fusion of both, and both the things I love. First, we chop all the vegetables and fruits. We are doing a tomato, onions, green chili, cucumber, and add them to boiled and rinsed Maggi. Some coriander for freshness, and for seasoning there's Maggi masala and chili powder. I'm sure we all have had plain Maggi with just masala on top, and it tastes amazing because the masala gets a bit crunchy. So I love that, and I feel like this is that, but like a very elevated version. This also has lots of lemon juice, my favorite chili oil, which currently it's kind of a tie between the sesame peanut chili oil and my hot honey chili oil, but for this one I just used my hot honey chili oil. And finishing with namkeen, which unfortunately, I'm sorry, I forgot to buy chana chor and I didn't have any at home, but I did have more types of spicy namkeen because I'm Indian, and Indian households without chana chor or namkeen or anything to just snack on, it's impossible. I don't know what it is about moody or chaat, but for me personally, if I don't use my fingers to mix it, it just doesn't taste as good. So I obviously went in and made sure the Maggi was well coated with everything. This is frankly a great recipe to bulk up a packet of Maggi because one packet of plain Maggi is just never enough for anybody. I am being completely honest. This is that one video where I actively struggled to not rate every single dish a 10 because this was amazing. If you remember the lemon coriander Maggi from episode 1, this one has those feels but cold and more chaat, if that makes sense. The balance of textures in this one is amazing too, and yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I personally wouldn't change a thing about it. I'll give this a 9 for creativity, a 9.5 for ease, and 9 for taste. Maggi pizza by Sanvi. We start by making a Maggi how we usually do. Some water, Maggi and Maggi masala. Let the Maggi cook for 2 minutes till it's soft and the water has reduced, and then we mix in about like half a tablespoon of cornstarch. You have to be really quick here to avoid any lumps. I am making this recipe with only 1 packet of Maggi instead of 2 because I have to make a lot of Maggi for these videos, okay? You probably won't believe me when I say this, but I used to eat Maggi like once every 2 months, if not less. So I am eating almost my year's worth of Maggi in a week for this video. But yeah, we spread the Maggi on a buttered pan and cook this for 5 minutes for the bottom to crisp up. Flip it, and now let's add the toppings. For the sauce, I did a mix of ketchup and mayo, then a layer of mozzarella cheese, and then the veggies. There's capsicum, tomatoes, jalapeno, and olives, and then there's a layer of oregano and chili flakes. Finish with more mozzarella cheese and cover and cook for 5 more minutes for the cheese to melt and the base to firm up, and that's ready. This looked incredible and it actually tasted incredible too. Also, I actually don't think this is a time-consuming recipe at all. Like a pizza takes a pretty decent amount of time to come together, but this one only took 15, not even 15 minutes. It was definitely worth it. I'll give this a 9.5 for creativity, 8.5 for ease, and 9.75 for taste. It is really good. Garlic, corn and cheese Maggi by Shivangi. So we start by heating up a pot with a very generous amount of butter. To the melted butter, we add lots of chopped garlic and sweet corn and just let this cook and develop a light golden brown color. So you basically just want to char them a bit. Then in goes about 1.5 packets of Maggi masala and let the masala combine with the buttery garlic corn and release those flavors. Because of my Maggi series, I have a lot of Maggi masala stored and some of them are quite old, which is why there's such a big difference in the colors of these two, but I tasted it beforehand and it was fine. It was edible, so don't worry. When the masala started smelling really good, that's when I added milk and water and let it boil. Now, if you think the milk looks a bit split, fortunately it did not split and it was completely fine off camera, but this is the thing. Maggi masala can split your milk because of the masala and also because there's no binding in the sauce. So I would say just to avoid the milk getting split, add the masala with the Maggi. After the water and milk have heated up, we add the Maggi and top with a mix of mozzarella and regular processed cheese and cover and cook for 5 minutes for everything to cook through. The cheese will be melty and the Maggi will also be soft. And yeah, it's ready to be served with some oregano and chili flakes. And this one is very creamy, it's cheesy and garlicky with that light sweetness and crunch from the corn, and it is amazing. I'll give this an 8.5 for creativity, a 9 for ease, and 9.5 for taste. Mashed potato Maggi by Swara. So this is that one recipe I was just very curious about and also skeptical about, which is why I chose it. So this one, there's basically two main parts, the Maggi and the mashed potatoes, and we're starting with the mashed potatoes. I took a big peeled potato and just mashed it with a fork till it was all smooth, and to ensure it really has no lumps, we pass it through a sieve. This will give you an extra smooth mashed potato. Heat up a couple tablespoons of butter and saute garlic and onions in it till it's all golden and there's no raw smell. Seasoning with chili flakes, pepper, salt, and then in goes the mashed potatoes. The star is definitely Maggi. I personally never fry my mashed potatoes. Of course, pav bhaji is a completely different thing, which is why I found this step interesting, but it really made sure that the potatoes were very nicely combined with the butter and aromatics, and they also had this very nice golden color to them. Now on to the main star of the show, the Maggi. So I just boiled the Maggi in salted water till it's cooked. Since Parmesan was optional, I decided to skip it, since there's already 2 recipes in this video which have cheese. And if I'm being completely honest, good Parmesan is really expensive. But yeah, when the Maggi has cooked, add it to a buttered pan and pan fry it till it's slightly fried. The insides still have to be soft like boiled Maggi, but the outside should be a bit crisp. I served the mashed potatoes on the Maggi and finished with just a little bit of cheese and coriander, and I am gonna be completely honest with you, I was not surprised, but I was shook by how much I loved this. The mashed potatoes are so smooth, they kind of act like a sauce, like a gravy for the noodles, and it's just so creamy and nice with the slight crunch you get from the Maggi. This is just, like, I would never have thought of this. It definitely feels very fancy like you mentioned, and I mean, it is just so good. I'll have to give this a 10 for creativity, an 8 for ease, and a 10 for taste. I just highly recommend you try this one out. Like, I love this. Final verdict. Okay, so I just know you can literally try any of these recipes and you love them, because I love them all and they're all amazing. But if we have to get a bit specific, if you really just want to go for something super creative and fun and unique, definitely go for the mashed potato Maggi. The quickest recipe is obviously the chat, and it's even quicker if you have a food processor or a chopper. And as for the best tasting one, go for the Maggi hot pot, or again, the mashed potato one. And if you have Parmesan, add that as well. Is it Parmesan or is it Parmesan? I think Parmesan sounds more fancy, so I'm just gonna say Parmesan. And yeah, clearly the mashed potato Maggi for the absolute win with 28 points. And that's it for me rating your recipes. I hope you enjoyed. I will definitely be doing a part 4 soon because I enjoyed this so much. So stay tuned to my community posts to get updated about my upcoming parts if you're interested in me trying your recipes. I'll see you very soon on my next one. Bye!
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar. She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah. And all the girls around the world, they wanna be her. And all the dudes are